Hi guys, welcome. It's day one of the 21-day yoga challenge. I am so excited to be doing this with you all and for your comments that you've had. So my goal for this is to make it responsive to the people in this group. I know we're not live together. I know we're all over the world. And I don't know whether it's Johanna or Johanna, but I'm sorry, this is coming to you later than I intended because I'm traveling. So I want to show you that we can do yoga anywhere. I'm here in a hotel room in Dallas. I'm here for a convention, and you can see I've got my mat set up in my hotel room. These are my props, the bolsters that came on my bed. We're going to even use the bed, or you can use a chair or a couch or whatever's around you. I just want to respond to some of the comments that I absolutely love. So yeah, naps with props, yes. Yoga can definitely be naps with props. Restorative is very, very good. My goal in yoga is to calm your mind. I teach from what I struggle with the most. And what I struggle with the most is the monkey mind that plays a million bajillion to-dos and takes me out of where my priorities are. That's where Clarity Project came from. I use yoga to get clear because otherwise the thoughts just swirl around, and it's hard for me to pick out where the priorities are, where to even go, take one step forward. So I use yoga for that. So whether that's actually physically moving, whether it's breathing, all you really have to do is breathe. That's it. That's it. The movements are a way to distract your mind. So the workout part is actually a bonus, but you can still get it. So I know, Jenica, you want to work out and make it fun. Oh yeah, make it fun. It does not have to be serious. Laughter is part of it. Falling is part of it. And nobody will even know because you'll be in your house. It's perfect, right? Perfect. Nicole, ways to fit it in. Yeah, I find that huge. I teach yoga for a living, and to get my own practice, and I like to practice with my husband because that's actually where we met, is we met in a yoga class. So we like to practice together, but man, it's really hard to fit it in, especially most classes by me are 75 minutes long, and that's not an insignificant amount of time, right? So yeah, it's hard to fit it in. So hopefully this will make it easier. These videos will be varying lengths, and what's going to happen is they'll be available once they're posted. The plan, we'll see if this is what works once this taping is done, is that they'll be in YouTube and you'll access them through that. So there'll be a library that you'll have access to. And so use the ones that work, use the times that work, and drop the rest. For everything, for every suggestion I give you, drop what doesn't work, drop what's boring. Kimberly, accountability. Yeah, that's for me too. For me too. It's funny, when I was thinking about when to do this, I knew I had this convention this week, and I thought, why would I start it in August 1st if I'm going to be traveling? And I thought, well, why would I not do yoga while I was traveling? So silly. So definitely for accountability. It's for me too. So thank you for that. Let's definitely hold each other accountable. And working with flexibility. Ashley, I know you're worried about flexibility and your wrists, and I'm going to try and focus today on things that do not involve your wrists, or at least modifications where you can build strength without relying on your wrists. I know that when I started down dog was, I thought, the most ridiculous pose ever. I now love it, but I don't have the wrist issues. It's just, anatomically you might just have different wrist issues. And as far as flexibility, you will gain the flexibility. You don't need it to start though. So I'll talk a little bit about that through the practice. Anything where you're bent, bend your knees, because your hamstrings will inhibit what you're supposed to get out of the pose. And at any little bit that you stretch them, they're going to stretch a little bit more each and every time. So we got this. We definitely got this. So I am going to back up. I'm hoping that I've got a little headset, but it's really cheesy, so I'm hoping to not have to use this. I'm just going to talk loud. I've got some music. We're going to get started. So all you really need, if you have a mat, use it, just because sometimes on the floor, if you're on a floor, your feet will slip. If you're on maybe a hardwood or linoleum, you might be okay even without the mat, but it might hurt your knees if we're on our knees for anything. So even the mat is not even especially required, to be quite honest. There's really nothing that's required. As for sitting and props, when I sit on the ground, I like to sit on something. So I'm going to just improvise with this bolster thing that truly is not meant to be used for yoga, I'm guessing, but that's what we're going to do. And you can use them to put them under your legs when we're reclining and in hip openers, and you'll see that throughout. So I have blocks at home. I purposely didn't bring them because I want you guys to feel like you can use whatever. Rolled up blankets work really well, so those are something that you can have nearby. Maybe a towel or a belt or something to help make your arms a little bit longer if we're going to touch your toes. Just make your arms longer. That's all. That's it. Work with what you got. Meet yourself right where you're at, and it changes everything. So much to talk about. So we'll talk about so much during these 21 days. So I just want to do an intro today. Hopefully make it fun. Hopefully you can hear some music. Hopefully we can relax. It's Monday. Just put a smile on our faces. All of my videos will include a Shavasana. I cannot possibly do yoga without Shavasana. One of my biggest complaints about some of the videos out there is they say, okay, stay as long as you'd like. Well, who's going to stay as long as you'd like if you're not sure what time it is and you know that you got to feed the kids and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm going to hold that space for you. I'll time it. So when we go into Shavasana, you don't have to worry, is she done? Is it over? I'll play some music so that you know that I'm still here, so you're not hearing silence. And I will tell you when you're done. I'll give you a nice good Shavasana. So that would be totally cheating you if I didn't. So, all right, let's get started. How do I want to start today? Let's get started seated on the floor. So you can sit with your legs crossed. I'm going to use a bolster. Going to start some music, hoping you can still see me. I'll edit it a little bit. We'll see. Let's go. Okay. So I'm going to use this bolster right here. You can kind of straddle it and sit on that, make that a little loud. So find your seat. When you get there, just close your eyes. Close your eyes. Sit up nice and tall. If you're sitting with your legs crossed, it might look something more like this. Or if it's okay on your knees, you can just sit on folded knees. That works too. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Yep, you can make that silly noise. It feels really good. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. And then just stay with your breathing. Just feel what it feels like for your breath to be moving in and out through your nose. Here alone is yoga. So this is a process of uniting your mind and your body. So many times do we float through our days and we're all up in our head, and we hear that expression all the time, but what does it actually mean? We are just thinking. We walk past people we recognize that we don't recognize them, people that we know that we don't even acknowledge because we don't see them. We never pay attention to feeling our feet on the ground. And it's so easy to lose track of what's real. That's where the stress comes from. Staying up in our mind. Once you feel your feet on the mat, your feet, your knees, whatever's touching the ground, once you feel that, wherever you're at, here in this practice, when you leave, when you go out into the world, feel your feet and feel your breath moving. Just get back to the really simple, tangible things, though, that is what's real. Sounds so annoyingly simple. Like, how could it be that simple? It's because it is that simple, but it's just not easy. Okay, from here, let's move through some cat and cow seated in here. We don't have to be on our hands and knees to do cat and cow and get that stretch through our spine. So let's try that here. Bring your chest forward, tip your tailbone back, Arch up through your spine. If you prefer to do this on all fours, go there. Go there and do some cat and cow. Exhale, bring your belly button in towards your spine. Maybe even grab onto your knees. Feel your shoulder blades stretch. So about space between your shoulder blades. Maybe a little left to right movement here. Inhale, pull it forward. Exhale, round it back. Inhale, pull it forward. Exhale, round it back. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Awesome, bring it back to neutral. Put your hands on the mat, tuck your toes, and start to straighten your legs. Forward fold. Now, straightening does not mean straight. You can be as bent as possible. Maybe put a lot of space in between your feet. Maybe even to the edge of your mat, really wide. Maybe rest your ribs right on your legs. Maybe you grab opposite elbows and hang. Maybe you bring your feet to the mat. You stay there. So you'll see through the process of this that I really want you to listen to my words and follow your body as opposed to continually watching me on the screen. It's like an advanced game of Simon Says. So oftentimes when I'm in a live class, I don't demonstrate anything. So you take the words and you look for what I'm describing. So I don't want you to take a folded over shape that looks like my folded over shape and try and replicate it. I want you to stand in your feet, fold forward to your degree, and feel the weight of your head. Use gravity for some natural traction on your spine and just hang. Shake your head yes and no. And then bring your feet in underneath your hips. Inhale to a flat back. So this is like you're looking over a cliff. Find length in your spine. Your tailbone points back. Crown of the head reaches forward. Belly button's pulled in towards your spine. I like to keep my hands on my shins for a little bit of traction. Feel your shoulder blades on your back. But you don't want to be rounding here. You want to take the bubble out of your back. Don't let your hamstrings limit you. So keep your knees as bent as you'd like them to be and just find length. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press through your feet, rise to stand, reach up nice and tall. Spread your fingers, put some activity in there. And then exhale, take your hands to heart center, take your elbows in, try and bring them together. Hands to heart center, close your eyes. So this is Tadasana, it's just standing, right? And not everyone can stand, so let's be grateful for that. But if you are standing right here, feel your feet on the mat. Press through the mat like you could literally grow roots into the ground. So I mean when we say get grounded just means feel what's touching the ground, feel what's real. And then as you press your feet into the mat, feel the muscles in your legs engage. See how strong you already are. You will build more strength through this practice, but you got this. You are strong, your feet are grounded, you are strong, and feel how your torso can kind of, like a breeze would knock you over here. Right, as we navigate this world of fast-moving craziness and social media and constant stimulation, get grounded. Oh, it helps so much with the stress. It's so difficult. It takes a constant practice. Hopefully we'll feel more grounded in 21 days. Inhale, reach up, stretch tall. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen and lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press through your feet, rise to stand, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press through your feet, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press through your feet, rise to stand, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more, just like this. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press through your feet, rise to stand, reach up nice and tall. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Tadasana. Okay, from here, if you're not at the front of your mat, step to the front of your mat. Here's where you can make this very simple and very difficult and a big workout at the same time. Depends on what you want, where you're at. Meet yourself where you're at. So we're gonna add some balance. Left knee up in front of you. Right? Maybe you touch down. Maybe you use the wall. Meet yourself where you're at. Where does your mind go? Is there judgment there? Like you're moving through mud, bend into your right knee. Step your left foot way back. Now, again, this is where I usually don't demonstrate. Not that my, look at my special yoga pose, that's not it at all. But maybe your foot lands someplace else. It might just land someplace and you need to kind of walk it back, right? To get it to where you want it to be. The goal here is to bend your right knee, whatever that looks like for you. Feel it. Bend your right knee as much as you can without bending your left. Hands can stay here, hands can reach. This is crescent lunge. You have to balance here, right? So you can make this a little bit of a wider base. Adjust your feet as need be. This is not gymnastics. You don't need to stick the landing here. You can make your feet wider, make them narrower. And then here's where you decide if you want to fire it, how you want to fire it up. How low do you want to go? Can you pull your feet together, right? Feel that in your legs. Pull them together. Obviously, you see I'm not moving. Pull your feet together. Stay here. If you want to add a twist, right arm comes back, left arm comes forward. Bring them back up. Woo, a little wobbling. Again, twist. Bring it forward. And twist. Bring it forward. Hands to your heart center. Hands down to the mat. This is a great place for something under your hand. Let's see how these bolsters work. Nice pillows. Yeah, just make your arms a little bit longer. And then drop your left knee down to the mat. If this hurts your knee, roll the edge of your mat or put a blanket underneath it. Or ignore this step altogether and say, no, thank you, I don't want to do that. You're going to stretch through your left hip flexor. So maybe your hands come to your right thigh. Maybe your hands stay on the mat. Move slowly so that you can find just right for you. And then stretch through your right hamstring. So how far your leg straightens does not matter. Look for a stretch in the back of the right hamstring. That's what you're looking for. So act as if your right hip, or move as if, with intention as if your right hip is pulling your right heel forward, back on the mat, your chest pulls forward. And then bring it forward into that low lunge. Tuck your left toes. Use your strong core. Pull your left foot in to meet the right. Inhale, lengthen and lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend your knees. Sit your hips back. Utkatasana, the button push and pose for me. So here, set your gaze somewhere. And find a space, find the height of your chair where you kind of want to run. You know, you want to get out, but you stay, you breathe. So this is where you practice that breathing through stress, finding a space between stimulus and response. The stimulus is me saying, sit in this chair. Your body's saying, maybe not, maybe not. Find the space. In that space, you can decide to sit deeper. You can decide to come out a little bit. But can you breathe? If you're holding your breath, back out. Breathe. Breathe deep. Make sure your weight's in your heels. You can see your toes. I know I am not a videographer, so you can't see my toes, but breathe. One more deep inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press through your feet, rise to standing, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. We're down through your left foot, right knee comes up. You balance. And then we're gonna shift it way back, bend into your left knee. Whatever way back is for you, your right foot steps. Shoulders come up over your hips and you reach. Crescent lunge. Fitting this pose onto your body could be enough for right now. If you want to twist and move, left back, right forward, bring it back. Twist. Shoulder blades come together, fingers reach, bring it forward. Twist. Bring it forward. Inhale. Exhale. Hands to the mat. Drop that right knee. Untuck your toes. Find the hip flexor stretch on the right. Maybe your arms come up. Maybe you open through your chest. Bring your shoulders together, shoulder blades together. Heart reaches up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat. Shift your hips back. Remember to make your arms longer as you need to. Blocks, books, whatever it takes. Kids, I don't know. Shift your hips back. That was a joke. Breathe. Walk it back forward, bend into your left knee again, tuck your right toes. Use your core, pull it in. Inhale, lengthen and lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Again with chair pose, bend your knees, sit back. So hopefully you're seeing you don't have to move fast. You don't have to do down dog. I haven't done a single down dog yet. And you can certainly feel the strength building of these poses. Hopefully find a little space in your mind by focusing on your breathing. One more deep inhale. Exhale, fold. Now press through your feet. Come on, all the way up. Reach. Take your hands to your heart center. I'm just gonna use the wall. I don't think I'm gonna move maybe I'll move my mat. Let's see how this works on the video. We're gonna use the wall here behind us. So maybe you have a wall. If not, you don't need a wall. But if you have one, it's great to use one. So bring your feet wide on your mat. You determine how wide, but see how big you can get yourself. See if you can make yourself really big. Okay. Take your right foot, point it towards the front of the room. Bring your heel in alignment with the middle of the arch on the back foot, the left foot. So we're gonna use the wall, and now I'm not doing it. So you're opening here. Your legs are opening, rotating outwards. Use your feet to root down and facilitate that movement. Bend into your right knee. Your knees moving towards the pinky edge of your front foot. Bring your arms out wide. Warrior two. Feel powerful here. Right? You're in your own home, watching this goofy girl on this video in a hotel room in Dallas. But feel powerful. You are so powerful. You have the infinite possibility to create the life you want. You probably may never watch this again from hearing that, but I'm telling you it is true. Stick with me. Let's feel that. Flip your front palm, reach up and back. Peaceful warrior. Now here's where the back, the wall comes in. You're just sliding your shoulders along the back of the wall. So your left shoulder's still touching the wall, both hips are still touching the wall, and reach your left arm up. How far you're bending into your knee, that is totally up to you. What you're looking to do is open across your chest, open across your hips. So how this looks on the wall doesn't matter. Wherever you rest your right arm, don't lean into it. Use it as a place for leverage, to open this leg up, open the chest up. Surely your right leg's gonna start talking to you. So let's get out of that, come back to warrior two. Reach up and back again. Lengthen through the right side. Find space between your ribs here. Straighten your right leg. You can leave a little, doesn't have to be perfectly straight, you can leave a little bend in it. Let your hips shift back. Reach your right hand forward. Find triangle pose. So same as the last pose that we did, I'll come off the wall to show you. Same as the last pose we did, but now your front leg is straight-ish, not bent. Straight-ish, I mean you can have a little bend here and that actually helps me draw up into my hip. There's nothing magical about going down to here, being up here. It's just that if you're up against the wall, as I just was, your hips are on the wall, your shoulders are on the wall, you're opening, you're breathing. Bend once more into that front knee. You can be on the wall, I know I'm off. Warrior two. Hands to your hips. Bring both feet parallel to the edges of your mat. All 10 toes face the front of the room, or the side of the room. And you're going to lean over. There can be bend in your knees. Here's one variation of a down dog, if that's what you're craving. You can be on the tips of your fingers to protect your wrist. You can be on knuckles. You can make fists, right? And use fists instead. But this should take a lot of pressure out of your hands with this very supported wide-legged stance. I got a lot of bend in my knees. Feel the length in your spine. Your hands are pushing forward. Maybe you can use just your fingertips to push forward. Push your hips, push your hips back. Find the length in your spine. If this is too much on the floor, I don't do this in the morning sometimes. Maybe when I usually just don't want to get out of bed, just over the bed. Rest your forehead. Use your thigh bones. Pull your hips back. Look for length in your back. Takes the wrist right out of it. Wherever you're at, you're going to bring your hands back to your hips. Come up to standing. We'll do the same thing on the left side. So left toes turn. I'm going to do this away from the wall just so you can see it. Left toes turn. Find your warrior two. And I'm inhibited by the wall. Working with the space I have. Set your gaze right over the middle finger on your left hand. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Flip your front palm up and back. Peaceful warrior. And then take your forearm to the inside of your left leg. Reach it up. Side angle pose. Now if you're up against the wall, both hips are touching, both shoulders are touching. Maybe it's looking more upright, but you're still bending. Just feel it in your legs. Feel your shoulders on the back, on the wall. Feel your hips on the wall. Don't push past where you're at. That's not going to get you where you want to go. It's not going to make you feel empowered. Come back, warrior two. Flip your front palm up and back, peaceful warrior. Straighten your left leg. I'm going to come off the wall, but you're going to stay on if you're there. Hips shift back, reach forward. Triangle pose. Breathe. Or can you find space? It does not have to be physical. Can you just create a little space, a little pause between the thoughts in your mind? Slow them down. Come back, warrior two. Hands to your hips, straighten both legs. Come back to the front of your mat. We're going down to the ground. So, see if I can turn this so you can see it. How you get to the ground. I know that we make a lot of emphasis on these transitions between poses. Yeah, stay in your practice. Make that be you know, graceful as well. We're less graceful, stay one, or we're gonna take it easy. So ways to get down there, you can just sit down. Or if you want a little extra balance challenge, come up on the ball of your feet. Sink your hips back. So now I'm on my toes. You can't see it because, again, not a videographer. On my toes, I'm wiggling. And you're gonna set your hips down, maybe with your hands, maybe not. We're gonna come into Navasana. Keep your feet together. Press your toes together, spread your feet apart. Not your feet apart, spread your toes apart. Reach forward. You can keep your hands on the mat. You can keep your feet on the mat and lift your hands. All Navasana. You can straighten through your legs, it doesn't matter. Lift your chest and breathe. Deep inhale. Exhale, take your feet to the mat, hands to the mat. You didn't have to stay that long. Don't ever listen to me, listen to your body. I'm just offering suggestions. Lift your hips. Stretch it out. And then take it back down to the mat. Again, Navasana. Stay here in your version. Belly button in towards your spine. Chest lifts. Feel your core. That's all you need to do. Be gentle. Take care of yourself. If you want to bring some movement into it, lower it down to a hover. Bring it back up. Lower it down to a hover. Bring it up. One more time, lower it down to a hover. Shake it out. Bring it up. Take your feet and your hands back down to the mat. Lift your hips. Maybe let your head hang. All right, we're going all the way down now to the mat. All the way down. I think you can still see me. That's good. Okay. So you're on your back on the mat. Knees are bent. Feet are underneath your knees. And they're not out wide. They're not out narrow. They're right in alignment with your hips. We're going to move through some bridge pose. So feel your shoulder blades underneath your back. Bend your elbows. Feel the backs of your arms on the mat, your triceps. What's going to be pressing here, your base, your foundation, your feet in Tadasana that you rise up from is your feet here and the backs of your arms. So press those down. Use the muscles in your legs to lift your hips up off the mat. Release your glutes. Pretend there's a block between your knees and you're pressing them together. So your knees aren't touching, but your inner thighs are engaged. Arms come up overhead, come under the balls of your feet. Roll it down one vertebrae at a time. Arms out by your sides, heels come down. Set it up again. Press through your feet, press through the backs of your arms. Tuck those shoulder blades underneath you, not your tailbone, sorry. Lift your hips. If you want a little bit more opening through your chest, interlace your fingers underneath you, reach your knuckles towards your feet. Breathe. Release your glutes. Up on the toes, arms up overhead. Exhale, roll it down. Drop your heels. Set it up one more time. You stick with your version. I'm going to get up and move the music. You keep going. Take it into a bridge. Stay as long as you want. And come down when you're ready. Breathe. When you're done with this pose, you're going to come into Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of your feet are going to come together, knees come out wide. This is where pillows or rolled blankets might come into play underneath your legs. If that feels like too much opening. You stay on your back. I'm going to sit up and walk you through the rest of this practice. Almost done. In Supta Baddha Konasana, maybe you can practice a little bit of vulnerability here. I think we're all women in the group. One hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. And breathe. When you put that hand on your belly, does judgment automatically come? Release that. This is your beautiful meat suit. Love the skin you're in. Take your hands to the outsides of your knees. Bring them up to the ceiling. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a good hug. You're on your back. Just listen to the words I'm saying. You're on your back. Knees are into your chest. Rock left to right a little bit. Feel your low back. Then let your left leg go long on the mat. Hug your right knee in. You're on your back. Take your left hand on the outside of your right knee. Right hand comes out towards the right side of the room and guide it in a twist. Guide your right knee. Look out of your right hand so you bring that twist all the way up into your neck. Inhale, bring it back up. Hug that right knee in and switch. Left knee comes in. Left hand comes out to the side. Use your right hand on the outside of the left knee. Guide it in a twist over to the right. Inhale, bring it back up. Take both knees in one last time. Bring your forehead up to your knees. Squeeze it all in. Keep your eyes closed. Engage everything from between your eyebrows to your fingertips to your toes. Everything. Take a deep breath in. And with an exhale, let it all go. Shavasana. So Shavasana is at the end of every practice. It is, translates to dead man's pose, corpse pose. You want to release your muscles. And I'm going to sit up, watch the clock, and hold space for you. You lay down and relax. Relax, 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 relax. Release your muscles. Let your bones be heavy into the ground. Feel the support of the ground underneath you. Close your eyes. If you've got something that you can use to cover your eyes, that'd be great. Just be.
May I suggest to you, may I suggest this is the best part of your life. May I suggest this time is blessed for you. This time is blessed and shining almost blinding bright. Just turn your head and you'll begin to see the thousand reasons that were just beyond your sight. The reasons why I suggest to you, why I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a world that's been addressed to you, intended only for your eyes. A secret world, a treasure chest to you, of private scenes and brilliant dreams that mesmerize. A tender lover's smile, a tiny baby's hands, the million stars that fill the turning sky at night. Oh, I suggest, yes, I suggest to you, yes, I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a hope that's been expressed in you. And I suggest, and I suggest to you, and I suggest this is the best part of your life. This is a song, comes from the west to you, comes from the west, comes from the slowly setting sun. This is a song with a request of you to see how very short the endless days will run. And when they're gone, and when the dark descends, we'd give anything for one more hour of light. May I suggest, this is the best part of your life.
Very slowly, very gently bring some movement back to your fingers and your toes. Eventually bring your knees into your chest. Roll to your right side, the fetal position, and just pause for a moment. Pause for a little gratitude for taking time for yourself. It's definitely not easy. And then as you're ready, help yourself up to a comfortable seat. You won't be here long, so however you sit where it's comfortable, close your eyes, take your hands into your heart center. Let's all together take a cleansing breath to end this practice. Deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. I thank you so much for any of you who watched this video, leave comments, questions, shared your practice, who gave it a shot. It is such an honor and a privilege, even from sitting in this room by myself in this Dallas, Texas hotel room. Just knowing that perhaps maybe one of you will find a practice today and breathe a little easier and find a little stress relief. Best job in the world. I love it. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Light and soul see in me, sees and honors the bright, shiny, amazing, audacious soul and goodness inside each and every one of you, even across this internet connection. Namaste, my friends. That is it for today. I will see you all tomorrow. Leave comments, leave questions. Can't wait.